Good morning, wherever you're at in the world. This is a global reveal of the ID.7. I have review on the mind today. I am reviewing the Genesis GV70 electric. Super pumped about that. But I'm also excited about the successor of the Passat. I reviewed the Passat last year. It was very bittersweet. I mean, the car wasn't great, but it was just sad to see the last year of the nameplate disappear. It's been in the market here about 4 or 5 decades, something like that. And the ID.7 is replacing it. Hopefully, man, here's the thing, like Volkswagen and Toyota, they're both using strange nomenclatures for their electric vehicles, whether it's the BZ series or the ID series. I know a lot of us would just like them to be called from their traditional names, whether that's the Golf and the Passat to, let's say, the Corolla and the Camry. So maybe this is just a stopgap with the naming, but we'll find out. So this will start here in about 13 minutes, but there's other news I wanted to go over before we get into all the details of the ID.7 reveal. So this is coming from the Shanghai Motor Show, and there's a lot going on from the motor show as well, outside of Volkswagen. What's interesting is that Volkswagen is sending their top CEOs over to the show because Volkswagen's largest market is China, and it continues to grow. Also, Audi's CEO is going over there as well, and Mercedes-Benz CEO. So the European brands have a strong foothold in China, and that is utmost importance to them. Let's see here. Also, we have other reveals going on from many different brands. For example, we have the Porsche Cayenne that's getting a facelift. That will be coming in about 14 hours from now. I don't plan on live streaming that. That'll be like at 10 at night or something. So don't plan on live streaming that, but we'll see if it's really cool and I'm excited about it. Maybe I'll post a small little follow-up video to it. We're also getting the Maybach Benz EQS. So that thing, I can't imagine what that's even going to cost. Ultra luxury SUV, and maybe it's only available for China. Wouldn't surprise me. And we also have, this is one of the more exciting things for me, is that thanks Jamal. My font's really small. I need to pump this up. Jamal saying, let's get Kirk to 200k subscribers. I would appreciate that. And thanks guys for coming out. Wherever you're at in your day, might be morning for a lot of you. It's going to be 8 o'clock here for me shortly. So thank you for coming out, and I appreciate you, and I would appreciate also a like button smash. But the Zeekr, we're over at Electric. The Zeekr launches a sub $30,000 X electric SUV. Not very imaginative of them. So Zeekr is kind of like a performance division of Geely. Geely is the automaker and big company that owns, I think they might even own Lotus now, but they own Volkswagen. Sorry, Volvo. I have a lot of V's on my mind today. They have Volvo as well as Polestar, but in the Chinese market, they also have Zeekr, which is a brand new brand. It's very high scale for them, even though it's affordable. And they're also bringing the Zeekr brand to Europe. And Zeekr X, right? Real imaginative, like I said, not like, come on. We also have the Tesla Model X. So anyways, 348 miles of range, but that's on the Chinese cycle. And so probably more like 300 miles of range EPA, but starts around $28,000 for 300 miles of range. And the crazy thing is that it is very fast. I don't think they have, did they have details on this website about the power? Yeah, check this out. So it has a basic rear-wheel drive model with 66 kilowatts of battery capacity, which gives you about 300 miles of range. But the dual motor models have over 400 horsepower, and this thing could go 0 to 60 under 4 seconds, like the GV70 electric in my driveway. Can't wait to review that today. That thing is blistering fast, incognito as well. It looks just like a normal GV70 unless you know what you're looking at. So this thing would be amazing if it came to the American market, but there's also, it's not going to happen because there's the EV, well, not the EV tax credit, it's the import tax on Chinese vehicles. And then, excuse me, it would not qualify for the EV tax credit. So it'll be fun to see how this thing disrupts the market in China as well as Europe. We also have other things going on with Volkswagen. They're making EV batteries with Vale and Ford, and I'm going to butcher this, Huayu in Indonesia. So Indonesia is the the hot place for battery making right now. They have the highest reserves of nickel that I'm aware of in the world, and so all the major automakers are and like miners are pouring into Indonesia to tear up their their landscape and mine these minerals out of the ground. And hopefully they're not polluting the environment too much over there, but it's all hush hush because big money's involved. Anyways, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I think it's probably best to go on over to here. We're 8 minutes away, but there's actually, I wanted to go over to, I know I'm all over the place. Did I close? Oh, here it is. We're going to go to Motor One because they have the general idea of what the ID.7 is going to come out with. This is an updated model of motor. This is the previous motor that's in the ID.4. For example, the ID.4 rear-wheel drive right here has 201 horsepower or 150 kilowatts and 229 pound-feet of torque. But they've updated it for the ID.7, and now we have 282 horsepower and 402 pound-feet of torque. So not only more powerful, it's also more efficient. The battery pack will have 77 kilowatt hours of usable capacity and 300 miles of range. Should be quite doable because it's efficient, one motor, and coefficient of drag is only 0.23. It is going to be a fairly large vehicle, expected to be larger, much larger than the Model 3, as well as the Ioniq 6 that I just drove. And there is going to be a larger battery pack in China, not available for the United States. And that will have 86 kilowatt hours of battery capacity, and probably at that point, maybe 330 miles of EPA range would be my guess, or maybe more. And then we don't have any information if there would be an equivalent wagon. That would be amazing to bring the ID.7 wagon based off of the Space Vision concept. That thing was dead sexy. But we know no one likes bringing wagons over here if they can help it, unless they want to charge a big premium for it, like your Volvo or like Audi with the RS6 Avant, for example. All right, I think that summarizes all the stuff I wanted to go into before the live stream. And I'm going to start reading the comments, just kind of chit-chat with you guys before the live stream starts here. Thanks for coming out. Good morning. Where are you guys coming from in the world, and what time is it where you are at? Where are you coming from, and what time is it from your part of the world? All right. Carrington says, God, this needs to be the Passat nameplate bad. Yes. Good morning, Jamal. Abubakar Omar, Grand Highlander or Kia Telluride, Hyundai Palisade or Honda Pilot. Well, I haven't driven any of them, so I can't say for sure. From what I've heard, that the new Pilot drives great, but we know technology wise it's probably a little bit behind the competition. And the Grand Highlander will be hard to beat with its 2.5 liter hybrid with around 250 horsepower. Will be getting you guys 35 miles per gallon, and then you also have the more powerful Hybrid Max. But people who like traditional, they have the V6s from the Kia Telluride, Palisade, and Honda Pilot. Abba G, good morning. How's it going? Gary Clark, hey, they gonna have 800 volt DC class battery and light the dash keys? If you're referring to the ID.7, I don't believe 800 volt DC charging is coming to Volkswagen's. Is this their platform's MQB? Is this the MQB platform? It's either MEB or MQB. Anyways, no, I don't believe it will have 800 volt. That will be their next generation platform, not due till 2027, I think. So that's a long time waiting for 800 volt. And meanwhile, like the Genesis GV70 in my driveway, it's not even an EV platform. It's just based off their normal platform that has an 800 volt system. Like the Koreans have a very fast charging and very forward technologically charging system. All right. Let's see. Carrington, Hollister, what's up? It's going to be here and in Europe by 2025 and 2024, respectively. I think you're referring to the ID.7. Or maybe one of the other vehicles I was talking about earlier. Paid Quartz, is this the first time these big brands do reveals in China since the pandemic? Yes, probably. This event is huge. It's probably like you said, it's been 3 years since things have been pretty locked down over there. Merle Avery, still love your channel, bro. Thanks for the support. You've been a follower for a long time, Merle. Appreciate you. Mark Coopers, good morning. Would feel bad about the Passat, but then you look at the post Dieselgate US spec versus Euro spec and it is insulting. Absolutely. Yeah, we got the nerfed version of the Passat that was very dumbed down, while China and other parts of the world, I think maybe even China had I forget. I remember there being two parallel platforms, one being vastly superior in other markets, and here in the United States, it was pretty piss poor. As an owner of a B5.5 Passat, there were many tears shed for the Passat. I'm sorry, Carrington. All right. Our tricks, they should bring it back the buttons. Amen. And I think of remembering the ID.7 concept. There were some buttons included in that, and that's a $25,000 electric Volkswagen coming for certain markets based off of, or kind of in spirit of the Polo. Carrington says he doesn't care for EVs whatsoever. He's a gearhead to his last breath. But if and only if Volkswagen changes the name to Passat for North America and Europe, then you'll bite. I get it. I don't want an EV only future. There will not be any Chinese cars in the U.S. for national security reasons. Yes. Also, I saw Montana was the first state to ban TikTok yesterday in their state. $10,000 fine if you're caught with it on your phone. Good thing I didn't invest too much in that, because it actually might be banned across the United States, TikTok. But, you know, the interesting thing is that even if I wanted to do shorts, I can post the same exact short video on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. It's just there's not enough money in it for me, and it's got to be like point and shoot, like 1 minute of my time. I'm not going to invest my time into like editing those things. But I know there are people that do, and they're doing well. But that's not what the road I want to go down. All right. 8 a.m. in Toronto, Melbourne, Florida. Neighbor, Mr. John. Thanks for coming out. 7:54 in Waycross, Georgia. I mean, we're 1 minute away at this point. So 6:55 in Minnesota from Abubakar. Phoenix, 4:55. God bless you for being up this early. Almost 7 a.m. in Tennessee. AU says, hello, Kirk. Hope you are well. I am doing really well. It stormed all night, and I probably got 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and my wife probably got like 2 to 3 hours of sleep. The kids were like 3 out of the 4 kids were waking up, like scared of the storm, had to go bathroom, couldn't go to sleep. One got sick over the night, and she's been thrown up, so the kids aren't going to school today. So, yeah, I'm probably a little short on sleep, which makes it for good entertainment. Let's see here. Hi from Japan, 9 p.m. there. Thank you for watching from Japan. That is epic. All right. Not a fan of electric, says George. Combustion engines is way better, and we have the infrastructure for support. Absolutely. There's no, gas cars aren't going anywhere anytime soon. It might be 30 years maybe before we see really like the benefits of gas cars go away. But even then, there's so many uncertainties with the power grid, etc. So hopefully we get this vehicle revealed today that's not in camouflage. It's been in camouflage for so long. So, all right. I'm going to start tapering it down. I look forward to you guys in the comments.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the world premiere of the all-electric ID.7.
Let me know if you guys can hear.
My name is Christian Häupner, and together with Sina Tesno, it's a pleasure to guide you through today's event.
It's great to have you all back with us. 4 weeks ago, we showed you our vision of entry-level e-mobility. Our little roundabout is called ID.2, and currently it's the smallest new addition to the ID family. But today, we have reason to celebrate again.
Exactly, Sina, but first things first. A warm welcome to our guests here in the Motorwerk in Berlin. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Good to have you here. Sina, you said it correctly. We have a reason to celebrate, and that's absolutely right, because now it's time for our range hero with a premium interior and a lot of space, our new ID.7.
And that means party time. So, Christian, what about the confetti?
No confetti, no air bounces, don't be afraid, no frills. I have something even better.
Okay.
As our ID.7 is a true world car, we're not only celebrating its world premiere here in Berlin. In parallel, we are unveiling the ID.7 in Birmingham in the UK.
In France, where we are at the Digital Art Center Atelier de Lumière, a fantastic venue in Paris.
Absolutely is. We're also in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands.
And in Sweden, in our central showroom in Stockholm.
And that's not enough. Besides our European markets, we will also reveal in the USA and China all at the same time.
And speaking of China, we received a video message from Shanghai, to be a bit more precise, from the Shanghai Auto Show, where our head of communications, Jens Kartemann, is currently on the road there.
Hello everyone, greetings from Shanghai. Also here in China, the preparations for our world premiere are in full swing. Let's have a look. So as you can see, we are getting ready for the show. Team is doing the final preparations. All we are missing are the 500 media guests, and then we are ready for the show. And it will be an amazing show because we have 1,000 square meters of projection here for all the content. And actually, I'm really curious how the world will receive our new ID.7, our new ID family member. And yeah, with these impressions, I give back to Sina and Christian in Berlin.
Jens, thanks a lot for this appetizer. We'll see you again for the main course. And Sina, look what we have here now.
Oh, how beautiful. And this luminescent paint, you see how this shimmers? That's a deep reach into the technical bag of tricks. And this one's got a few miles on it, hasn't it?
Absolutely, you're right. Sina, we presented this car already at the CES in Las Vegas, where it made its first public appearance. And with this very special electroluminescent paint, it was a real eye-catcher. And let's have a look.
So with this paint, I don't see it ever coming to production. I feel like the rules in place around the world would be like, no, your car can't glow. It's a safety hazard. And it could be distracting. And there's all sorts of rules around illumination, max illumination coming from the headlights anyway. So I would be, and it's just kind of dubstep music right now anyway. So I would love to see it as a car enthusiast. And there's not a lot of things about electric vehicles, at least in the traditional sense, that you can do enthusiast things with. So you have to get creative, and
were really spectacular.
I'd like to see it. I just don't think it's going to be legal
our
anywhere.
Firefly turned out to be a real success, and we are super proud what we achieved on spot. Created immense awareness. Talking about the United States, let's stay there for a moment, but we'll switch briefly from the west to the east coast to catch the president and CEO of Volkswagen Group of America, and his team. They're having breakfast.
Greetings from New York. It's morning here, so we're enjoying coffee and New York bagels with media in a beautiful space. The ID.7 is an important vehicle for us in North America. When it goes on sale next year, it will be another model in our growing EV lineup. The ID.7 will join the ID Bus and the ID.4, which we produce in Chattanooga in the state of Tennessee. We're very excited about the ID.7. It will have premium range, more than 300 miles, and it will be our first sedan on the MEB platform.
MEB,
After camouflage showings in LA and Las Vegas, it's time to take the wraps off. And with that, back to Berlin.
Thank you, Pablo. Enjoy the breakfast with your colleagues and with the media guests. Meanwhile, we have a dear colleague here. Hi, Stefan. Good to be here.
Hey, Christian. Hey, Zita. Hello, everybody.
So it's so great to have you with us. And you've been on the road with the ID.7 earlier. And what's so special about the car?
There are a lot of things special about the car, but two things are really special, to be honest. The first thing is you have a roominess interior, so it's an everyday hero. And on the other side, you have ranges up to 700 kilometers. So it's our distance hero.
Okay, I'm already convinced, but maybe I'm a little biased. So what's so special about the interior, for example?
Now, when you open the door, you can mention with the first glimpse the quality of the interior. And when you look further, then you see the premium features and really revolutionary technology, which should be best in class, to be honest.
Okay, that makes me curious.
It should make you curious, but before you ask, no, it's not allowed to say any more at this point.
Okay, note to self, I'm so transparent, but it was the best transition ever, Stefan.
Apologies, enough talk for now, because here we go.
So we have a
We're
reveal
more than
without
happy
like
that our newest
specs?
member of the ID
Is that what
family
he pretty much
is
just
now
said?
finally seeing the light of the day. Have fun on screen, and here in Berlin. At the
Maybe
world
this is
premiere
just the
of the
exterior
ID.7.
interior reveal, and yeah, he is reading, and English is not his first language, so I'm gonna cut him a lot of slack. Doesn't bother me at all. Oh, another countdown. Wait, but we're stuck on 7 because we get ID.7. All right. That's a cool light show. Kind of the electronic Tron music going on. Got the electroluminescent paint jiving with the music. Man, is that the fastest a car can go? Oh man. The sound is cutting out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome member of the Board of Management at Volkswagen Passenger Cars for Sales, Marketing, and After Sales, Imelda Labe.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And hello, ID.7. For us, this car is groundbreaking because it comes with completely new premium features, outstanding quality, and a new level of efficiency. We often say it's the Passat for the electric world. And in fact, it is much more than that. The ID.7 is the 6th all-electric Volkswagen model that is MEB-based. Let's talk facts and figures. Depending on the battery size, WLTP ranges are predicted up to 700 kilometers. Fast charging times of around 25 minutes from 10% to 80%, and charging capacities of up to 200 kilowatt could be possible. High efficiency thanks to sophisticated battery management, and low consumption thanks to excellent aerodynamics. So what does that mean for our customers? Well, to put it simply, continuous driving with fewer and shorter stops. Exactly how it should be, driving a Volkswagen in the electric age. So dear guests, efficiency was one of our key development goals for the ID.7. It offers the best aerodynamics in the whole ID family. The electric motor was developed by our technical development together with the colleagues at Volkswagen Group Components in Kassel, and it is characterized not only by significantly increased performance, but above all by great efficiency. And this is just one factor that makes the ID.7 the perfect companion for everyday use and for long journeys. And above all, it's the comfort you will experience in the moment you open the door and get inside the car, no matter if you're sitting in the front or in the back. The roominess is just outstanding. Also thanks to the optional dimmable smart glass roof, which creates a very airy atmosphere. But there's much more than that. The innovative smart air vents, for example, they do distribute the air throughout the interior as soon as you approach the car with your key. The system also reacts to voice commands and takes into account the position of the sun as well as your individual preferences. So what does this mean for our customer? Greater comfort that sets standards in its class. And if you want added comfort, high-end wellness seats are fully air-conditioned and are available with a new massage system on an optional basis. Maybe you're a music lover like I am. You will find the new Harman Kardon sound system with 13+1 speaker truly exciting. I can tell you, I tried it recently. I tried it behind closed doors, of course, and it was really outstanding. Let's move on and shift our focus to the digital features of the ID.7. The first thing you see when entering the car is the 38 centimeter display that is 15-inch in the diagonal. But it's not only the size. We paid a lot of attention to usability, meaning the clear arrangement of functions and settings. We listened carefully to our customers and integrated their feedback right away. For instance, you will find the climate control on the first level always at your fingertips. And what else does the ID.7 offer in terms of digital features? Augmented reality heads-up display, which comes as a standard, or our operating concept HMI 1.x, including optimized EDA voice control, and refined assistance systems which further increase the user experience. But I would like to point out that the ID.7 not only uses revolutionary technology, it's also premium when it comes to sustainability. The interior is completely free from animal leather and we use a variety of recycled and sustainable materials. And this is true actually for all our ID models. So after all, the European model is produced in Emden, our modern and highly efficient production site that we recently transformed into an all-electric plant. And finally, the low consumption of the ID.7 is a result of the perfect interplay of design and technical development. So dear guests, in a nutshell, high range and fast charging times, premium interior with a lot of space and lounge-like atmospheres, digital first, augmented reality, voice control, and easy usability. So in other words, the ID.7 is our great car for our customers and is for customers around the world.
Great show, thank you.
Hi.
Well, you introduced the car to us here in Berlin. Our colleagues in many other markets were busy as well and revealed the ID.7, a car that is tailored to your requirements.
Yeah, and that's really amazing. Looks super good. Thanks, colleagues, for all your effort. And I know that Jens has been joined now by a very special conversation partner in Shanghai. Let's have a look.
Hello again, and yes, exactly, we have our Volkswagen brand CEO, Thomas Schäfer, with us.
Hello everyone, greetings to Berlin.
So Thomas, the ID.7 is unveiled. What's so special about the car?
Now the ID.7 is very special to us because it will actually show the direction of the brand. It is a volume car, a world car for us, and it's a vehicle that has premium features in the volume segment. So for us, a very important car that will help us on our way to become a love brand.
Yeah. What do you expect from the Asian market?
In the Asian market, we have now listened carefully to our customers, and we have adapted the connectivity features specifically to the Chinese market. And I think with that, we're going to have premium features there that will meet the demand of the Chinese consumers.
Yeah. And what is the worldwide impact of it?
The ID.7, after the ID.4, is a real world car. The car will be presented on the 3 main world continents, and we are planning high segment shares, and I think this vehicle will do very well across the world, and that's important to us.
Thank you, Thomas, and best wishes to Berlin.
There you go. Thank you, gentlemen. Imelda, Thomas just said it. There's so many things about the ID.7 that I loved, and there's so many things to love. And you already pointed this out. Volkswagen is on its way to becoming a love brand. So what role does the ID.7 play in this?
Well, the ID.7 has really all the ingredients to touch the hearts and the minds of our customers. And I'm convinced that it will be a true success story in all 3 regions of the world, making it a true world car and, most importantly, a true Volkswagen.
And that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you. And without our audience, a world premiere would only ever be half as nice. A huge thank you to our audience here in Berlin and to everyone watching online. Have a great day. We'll see you again next time.
Okay. Well, they say there's more to come. Does that mean in this live stream or just from Volkswagen? Obviously, Volkswagen's going to have a bunch of ID vehicles. They already have quite a few in Europe. We have ID.4 here, and we're going to be having the ID Buzz soon. We'll have the ID.7. I think that's it. Yeah, nothing all about new software. Well, here's the thing. They're like, oh, we listened to customers, and now it's easier to get to climate control through the touchscreen. But we didn't ask for more touchscreen, Well, I'm not a customer, but like I review cars, and I don't want to sit in a modern Volkswagen because the infotainment and just the climate control is a nightmare. So it doesn't look to be fixed here because there are no physical buttons, and we'll see. Maybe I absolutely love the way it drives, I absolutely like the worst driving electric car I've tested so far is the ID.4. Doesn't mean it's a bad car, but there's a lot of quirks about it that drove me nuts, including the infotainment. So, anyways, I look for some new platforms, so hopefully it drives different. A lot of those braking issues that I had are gone. There also won't be one pedal driving from what I've read, which isn't a deal breaker. I used to be more like, oh, one pedal driving is everything. And the more I drive one pedal driving, the more I'm like, I'm just a lot more accurate with the real brake pedal response compared to a one pedal driving response. And when I'm driving people around that get car sick, like most people in my family, it's a lot easier to have a smoother experience with accelerator pedal and a brake pedal integration instead of just one pedal integration. Anyways, all right, I'm going to read your comments here. I might go to, maybe I'll go to ID.7. Let's see, is it updated now? Press pack, okay. Let's see here. So WLTP, I did a rough conversion here. Now that's 380 miles of range, but that is on probably the larger battery pack that we're not getting here. So expect our range maybe to be around 320 miles. I think that's realistic. Let's see here if there's anything else. First Volkswagen with new display and operating concept. Maybe we have more images on that. Can I zoom in? I would have to download the image, but yeah, I guess I could download it right here. Large. Okay. All right. I'll just put in if you missed my Prius review, go ahead and check that out, but that's where I just stored this. All right. Let's make this bigger. Okay, very small screen behind here. It's very different. Seems much wider than the ID.4 screen, which, if I remember right, sits kind of in the same spot. And it's very minimal here, but like the new Prius, it doesn't bother me as long as it's in a good spot and you can read it. I would assume that some models also have a head-up display, but I actually don't see it here behind the steering wheel. So let's look at this guy. So their intelligent fake person artificial intelligence is called IDA, like ID, get it? So IDA. And I guess you have that built into here, which I don't remember. She might actually been in the last one, but I don't really like using the voice software in cars ever if I can help it, unless it's like Google Assistant or Siri. So we have a charging function here. Let's see here. Climate control, all touch capacitive at the bottom. These slider gauges, touch capacitive for volume. That drives me crazy. Give me a volume knob and also touch capacitive for heating and cooling. So doesn't look that much different to me, but maybe it is. I would have to test it. It doesn't look bad on the inside. Looks pretty basic. Like the ID.4 was, I guess. With a little blue contrast and stitching. Let's see what else we have for images here or information. So it's a 15-inch infotainment screen. Some people are saying that's too big. I mean, Toyota and Lexus is 14 inches at this point, so it's kind of par for course. Backlit touch slider. Very excited for that. Oh, there's the augmented reality head-up display. So there it is. All right, so they do have it. New air conditioning operating concept integrated in the top level of infotainment. These seats do look pretty nice. I will say that. I like the stitching in the middle. Now everything's vegan in here, vegan leather, whatever you want to call it. I don't mind the design of it. It kind of reminds me of the Crown with the raised nature of it and sloping roofline. And that's the thing with a lot of electric sedans. They're just not able to get them as low to the ground as a normal car because the battery pack is fairly thick. But it does give you a flat floor. It's easy to get in and out of, and the aerodynamics on this is still really strong. Let's see here. Do we have any more information? I guess this is just their electric vehicle plan. ID.7 is one of 10 new EVs that will be launched by 2026 by Volkswagen. This year sees ID.3, which we won't get, ID Buzz, which maybe comes out by the end of the year in the United States. Actually, that might be 2024. We'll see. But it says ID Buzz with long wheelbase, which that's the only version of the ID Buzz we're getting. And the ID.7. They say an electric compact SUV in the production version of the ID.2 at a price less than 25,000 euros or is planned for 2026. Unfortunately, we probably won't get the ID.2 in America. That's kind of a bummer because that thing looked amazing. And let's see here. They want to give the widest range of electric vehicles compared to its competitors. And they might be able to do that. We know Tesla only has 2 main models, and the 2 top models are out of the price range of most people. Even their mainstream models are out of the price range for most people. Let's see here. It will be built in Emden. And people are thinking, well, I saw someone in the comments saying they want it to be built in Emden for the North American model. The problem is it won't qualify for the EV tax credit if it is. And that's not going to help this vehicle take off. It needs to be built here in, I think, was it the Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. So that's more than likely going to happen, be built here stateside to qualify for the EV tax credit. And China will be, of course, built in China. Well, holy cow. I didn't read further. It says it will be built in the Emden plant for North American markets. So will not qualify for the EV tax credit. All right. I should have just kept reading. Oh, that's the just got to read, Kirk. Let's see here. Yeah, assistant systems don't get me that excited. 700 watt Harman Kardon sound system. She couldn't think of the word for the Harman Kardon sound system. She was just like stuck on it. She's like, so it's like tested it. It's 14 speakers with a subwoofer. So that's great. It probably sounds pretty darn good. 200 kilowatts of charging possible. So this is going to be the fastest charging Volkswagen. I compare the ID.4 for sure. I would assume, I think the ID.4 charging rate, I think it's like 135 or 150, 125 to 175. So somewhere around there. Okay. So this will definitely charge faster, which is great. We're making progress here, but we won't see like a 350 kilowatt system until their next gen platform in 2027 or so. All right, let's get into some of the comments, and then I got to start revealing an EV in my driveway, the GV70. All right, supposedly the ID Buzz long wheelbase will be made in the US. Yes, I think I heard that as well, but I don't know when it's coming 100% for sure. Where's the gear shift? Well, just like the ID.4, the gear shift should be right here if I remember correctly. So let me pull that image back up. Do I still have it up? Yeah, right here. So you can see drive, neutral, reverse. It's a little twisty stock. Ioniq 5 and 6 twisty stocks down here. So this one's in a, hopefully in a space that the driver can see. I think they should be able to look over the steering wheel to see the drive select. So hopefully that answered your question there. Lassie, I wanted more numbers in the presentation. Drag coefficient, it's 0.23. Max charge kilowatts per hour was 200 kilowatts. Even just expected kilowatt hour usage. Yeah, we don't have like miles per kilowatt hour, for example. But if it's getting well over 300 miles range with that sort of efficiency, it should be able to get 3.5. I don't know. That's just a guess. It just depends on the ambient temperature, how fast you're driving, etc. Better build quality than Tesla. I mean, I think just about every automaker has better build quality than Tesla, but there are exceptions. Like, man, I look at panel gaps a lot on the roads. Some of the Teslas are horrendous, and see some look pretty good from the naked eye, and then some of them just look like they're just pieced together. But I saw a Highlander XSE, and like there was a small gap on the left-hand side of the tailgate, and there was a fat gap on the right-hand side of the tailgate. I'm like, that looks like it was put together by children. It looked terrible. So don't think that, it's easy to just call Tesla out because, they're probably the most easy to see with the naked eye with their panel misalignments and gaps, but it affects all automakers. So Yeah, my good friend David Chow, he said his Lexus RZ tailgate was not aligned properly, and that's a Lexus, but it's actually assembled by non-Lexus people at the Motomachi plant. They're also building Subarus and Toyotas on that ETNJ platform. So, and it's also early production. Keep that in mind. And maybe that Highlander I saw XSE was early production as well. It's just there's just so many factors when it comes to mass production of vehicles. Sound is crazy in the beginning. I know. Sorry about that. I think I fixed it. AU, maybe you can voice control it because that's new and exciting. Mazda poaching all the Takumis. Well, yeah, like David's done a great job on engineering. Gosh, I can't even think of his channel now. I just call him David all the time. Anyways. Automotive Press. He's always, testing panel alignments on his channel, and yeah, the Mazdas are always really, really well put together, at least on the outside, and from my experience on the inside as well. So, yeah, there's here's the thing: the GV70 I have in my driveway. I don't know if I'll mention it in the review, but the dash on the right-hand side doesn't line up perfectly with the door panel. And this is the first time they're building Genesis in the United States. And for the most part, it looks really well built. The panel gaps and everything, I think everything looks really well aligned. But I noticed when I was opening the driver door, I was getting this rubber squeaky noise. I'm like, what's going on here? And it was because the sound insulation foam inside of the front left fender was rubbing against the door panel, and it was making a squeaky noise. So, I mean, obviously that could be easily fixed if I wanted to just get a razor blade and just shave off the little extra foam that was rubbing against the door panel when opening. So there's just small things like that. You're going to have growing pains in any first production model. And, some of you guys were asking during my Prius review yesterday of my 2012, when am I getting the Prime? I reached out to my Toyota dealer. They said allocation for a region is only it's less than 20 cars for over 100 dealerships. So I don't know if I'll even be getting mine this year from the sounds of it. And, that's fine. Maybe later models also will have less first or growing pains when they're first building these off the assembly line. So my 2012 literally still feels like it's built from granite, besides all the plastic panels in there that just can't help. That's their nature to make noise. It probably made noise when it was brand new as well. Cracking and rattling, creaking. All right, CX-90 versus Toyota Grand Highlander thoughts. Well, I haven't driven either of them, so I mean, all I can say is, if you prioritize, God, they're both so damn good, at least on paper. The Mazda is more premium, absolutely. It all comes down to your personal preferences. The CX-90 plug-in hybrid is going to be hard to beat because there won't be a prime Grand Highlander at launch, if ever. So, the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max would perform really well against the plug-in hybrid and the inline six, at least on paper. But there's no way that the Grand Highlander will feel and handle as good as the CX-90. So if you're more of a driving enthusiast, the CX-90. But when we're talking about three-row crossovers, handling is not on the forefront of my mind. But maybe if you're a one-car family, and you want to have a little bit of fun, the CX-90 maybe is a little bit better choice. But it's hard to say without driving either of them. Will the ID.7 compete with the Ioniq 6? Absolutely. It'll be in the same category. It might be a little bit longer, but we'll see. Hard to tell size with the ID.7. Oh, I just read it. ID.7 is actually a breath of fresh air and a design after the hideous Ioniq 6. I like the design of the ID.7 over the Ioniq 6. It's very neutral. And the ID.4 doesn't look bad either. I like it. I think it has a good ratio here, or just the canopy looks very inviting. I don't get any weird rounded off edges. Very snubby front nose, which is great. You don't have a long overhang on the front or the rear, so you have a long wheelbase, which will provide a very nice riding vehicle, not necessarily handling. And I think it looks great. If I was in the sedan market for an EV, I'd consider it. But maybe the buttons are a deal breaker, unless the new software I can live with if they've really improved it. But no button, like I have real buttons in the the Ioniq 6 over the ID.7, as well as the Tesla Model 3. So yeah, the Model 3 though just beats them in value. And you can get Model 3 Performance for around $50,000, like crazy acceleration. Yeah, so the Model 3 is still probably the EV to beat, even after driving the Ioniq 6 and liking pretty much everything about it. The looks are polarizing, so I understand. Good morning, Lawrence. How's it going? Lassie, 0.323 coefficient is pretty good. I agree. On par with Model 3, better than GT e-tron, much better than the ID.4 or 5. Well, yeah, it's a sedan. It should be. Ioniq 6 is a tad better. Yeah, that's point. No, well, here's the thing. The Ioniq 6 is the same. And the reason is the Ioniq 6, I think it's 0.21 with the digital side mirrors, and it's 0.23 with the 20-inch wheels and side mirrors. So it's actually equivalent to the Ioniq ID numbers. Like, that's the thing in these cars. I just wish they called them something unique so they don't all sound the same. So yeah, the Ioniq 6 will essentially have the same slipperiness as the ID.7 when you're comparing it in the North American market. Nissan Titan will be killed off. Yep, this is probably it's inevitable. Quick thoughts comparison on the Prius and the Prius Prime. I'll watch my review I made yesterday because I made the comparison, and also watch my driving of both of them because they both have unique characteristics. But after driving the Prime and seeing that it doesn't cost that much more, but you get more power and just a dual nature, being an EV and a hybrid, like that was a no-brainer to me. But after driving them as well, like I was not impressed with the new Prius and its sound insulation. The engine was very loud and buzzy. Like I felt like really, it felt fairly harsh. And the fourth gen felt better in terms of a more everyday livable experience than the fifth gen normal Prius. Even the new one, I'd still take over the fourth gen because the fourth gen is hideous in my opinion. But I honestly liked how the fourth gen rode over the fifth gen. Personal preference though. But then I drove the Prime, and the Prime felt premium luxury grade. It felt way more quiet, smooth. Like it just felt way more insulated from all the noise from the ground and the air around me. It just felt better built, very tanky and solid. The Prime did, and that surprised me because it is still a Prius. And then I started thinking, well, it's the same feeling I had with the RAV4 hybrid versus the RAV4 Prime. The RAV4 Prime feels a lot different than the RAV4 hybrid, not just because of the power capacity. It's because it just feels like a better built, more insulated, tanky product that felt Lexus-like when you drive it. It felt very substantial, almost like Lexus GX, sort of just like, I'm in a tank. That's how the Primes feel, whether you're in a RAV4 Prime or a Prius Prime. They definitely feel much more better built, better quality, better insulated than the non-Prime hybrids. So hopefully I answered you there. Maybe I'm just crazy and there's some sort of like placebo effect going on, but that's my personal experience. All right. Yeah, Nissan's killing it's already been killed in Canada for a couple of years now. 2024 Camry will blow the Accord and Altima away. That's my fear as well. I want competition, but I just saw every day I see, not every day, but I'm seeing the new Camrys or Accords on the road. And I'm just like, it's meh from the side and the back, and then the front, it's like, I can't get on the styling of the new Accord. It's really, really tough for me. All right. I think that's about it. I gotta review a car. Like I said, the Genesis GV70 electric, and I'm probably gonna do a video like, is it better than the Lexus RZ 450e? So yeah, anyways, stay tuned for that. But thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you being here this morning or wherever you're at in the world. If you haven't hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. Thanks for coming with a bunch of questions. And I haven't live streamed in a long time, so it's a lot of fun. I didn't really plan on it until this morning. I'm like, oh, the reveals this morning. I got nothing planned since, you know, the kids are staying home from school since they're not feeling well. So I thought I would do a little live stream with you guys. But thanks for coming out. Appreciate you. And have a great day, especially if your morning is just getting started. Have a great day. And thanks for coming out for this live stream. See you in the next one. And hopefully I can drive this ID.7 pretty soon.